We're continuing on page 37 of our packet. On page 73 in the book, you'll find the instructions for this activity. It says use the chart of accounts and journal from Work Together 3-2. Your instructor will guide you through the following examples. We have 6 transactions to record this time. And our instructions say, journalize the transactions continuing on the next blank line of page 1 of the journal. Source documents are abbreviated as followed. C for check, R for receipt, S is sales invoice, T calculator tape. Save your work to complete Work Together 3-4. All right, our next transaction is April 12th, and we paid cash for rent. So we know we're paying cash, that means we're going to credit cash, and I've told you that expense accounts are always your debit, so we're going to debit rent expense. We'll start by putting in the date, the 12th. We're still in April. We'll list our debit account first, which is rent expense, and we put that right against the margin. Then we'll list our credit account, which is cash, and that will be indented just a little bit from the margin. Next, on the debit line, the rent expense line, we put in our source document, which this tells us it was check number 4. So we put in a C4. The amount is $1,000. And then we put in our credit amount of $1,000. Our next transaction is dated April 13th. Received cash from sales. When we receive cash, cash is our debit, and sales is always our credit. So we're going to put in the date, the 13th, list our debit account, cash, right against the margin, indent just a little, and put in sales on the line below for our credit account. And this is going to be T13, which is a cash register tape. And the amount is $2,500. So basically what's happening here is at the end of the day, we're taking all of the cash from the till or the register. We're getting a total of what's in the register, and we're recording that total sales for all of the transactions in our cash register for the day. We're not recording each of those individually, just one for all those transactions. Okay, next up we have April 14th. Sold services on account to L. Rowe, $510. When we sell services on account, we did make a sale, and sales is our credit, and where it's on account, that means we're going to use accounts receivable because they will be paying us in the future. So we'll put in the date, the 14th, and we'll list our debit, which is accounts receivable hyphen L Rowe, R-O-H-E, and then our credit is sales. We put that on the line below. Our source document is S1, which is a sales invoice. So sales invoice 1, and the amount of this sale is $510. So we put in the debit amount, $510, then we put in the credit amount, $510. On the 19th, paid cash for electric bill, $148. We're paying cash, so cash is our credit. That means our electric bill is going to be our debit. Now we do have to look back at our chart of accounts back on page 67 to see what expense accounts we have. We have miscellaneous expense, rent expense, and utilities expense. And that electric bill is going to go under utilities expense. So we will put in the 19th, debit account, utilities expense, credit account, cash, and then our source document is C5 for check 5, and the amount is $148. Next, we have April 20th, received cash on account from L row. When we receive cash, that's our debit to cash. So we'll put in the date, the 20th. We're going to debit cash, and then it says we received that from L row, which would be one of our accounts receivable. So we're going to credit accounts receivable hyphen L row. So we made the sale right here to L row. Now they are making a part of a payment here. And this is going to be R2, which is receipt number 2. And we received $255. So we put $255 on the cash line in the debit column and $255 on the accounts receivable line in the credit column. One more transaction. On the 21st, paid cash to owner for personal use. Again, we're paying cash, so cash is going to be our credit. And when we give cash to the owner for personal use, that is using the owner's drawing account. And so we're going to use Norm Derner, comma, drawing. The date on this is the 21st. Our debit, Norm Derner, comma, drawing. And then our credit is cash. Our source document is check number 6, so C6, and they are withdrawing $1,000. Okay, we're going to save this and continue on 3-4, work together.